Hi everybody, and thank you for watching. So here is week 4 of my health research journey, and so this is a video of what my body is looking like just at the end of week 3. So I have been seeing a bit of change in my body, and so at the end you can see in the scale as well. So I started week 4, or basically ended week 3, at 147.6. So I did lose a bit of weight between week 2 and week 3. Now let's see what I did eat in week 4, and I did cheat quite a lot over this week, and it's been a lot more difficult for me to stick to my diet. Day 1, which is a Saturday, I did start off my breakfast with some of my oatmeal pancakes. So I was trying to finish off a lot of the cottage cheese that was in my fridge. Also for lunch, I found some of these chicken patties in my freezer. So I have been trying to clean out my fridge and freezer, as well as trying to stick to my diet. So I saw these patties, 200 calories for one of them, which is really not enough for me. So I did actually use 2 patties, and I basically put it on top of some salad. So I'll be getting these from Costco. And then this dipping sauce it tastes amazing, but the calorie wise, it's 130 calories just for 2 tablespoons, which is a lot. So it's not the best, but I am trying to go through what's in my fridge and freezer. So this is going to be my lunch for day 1. Let me plate this up really quickly. So I do have the salad there, and the patties are practically cooked. They're just frozen, so I just had to heat it up really quickly in the air fryer, and I just cut it up to make it easier for me to eat, and I will top it with the sauce. So it was a really quick, easy lunch. Honestly, I could eat this again, and I believe I did throughout the week. I have no more of those patties, so I did finish them off over this week, but I do have like chicken nuggets and some other stuff that I could potentially use as well over my salad. So I've been picking up this salad quite often at Costco and just finding a protein that I can put on top of it, and that's basically my meal. So the protein is supposed to be making me fuller. The salad, honestly, I feel so hungry afterwards, but yeah, really good food there. Before we head to a party that night, we did stop by and have some kava, which is kind of like a Mediterranean Chipotle in a sense. It was okay, I guess. So it didn't really fill me up, but I needed something before we headed to our party. The next day, I had some more of my oatmeal pancakes. So these fill me up quite a lot. So they're just like, I've mentioned this before, it's half a cup of cottage cheese, half a cup of oats, and then I do top it with an egg, mix it up, and then I do put it on the skillet. A lot of people blend it, but I'm just happy just having that. Again, I did have the same as the day before. So some of those chicken patties over salad with some of the same sauce. So I kind of had the same breakfast and lunch 2 days in a row, which I could do every day, honestly. So this is actually pretty good. If I can find a deal more on those patties, I'll probably pick them up. But for now, let me just clear out what I have in my fridge and freezer. So that was my lunch for day 2. As a snack that afternoon, I decided to have one of my Jellos. So I made these the week before, and they are actually pretty good. That night, my husband decided to make some of these mahi mahi. So we get them from Costco. There's about 6 fillets in here. And he likes to cook them with some coconut milk and some spices. I just let him cook it for me. And then I usually eat this I try to have it over salad, but then today I wanted to kind of cheat a little bit and have it over some rice. And then I kind of like make my own sushi in a sense with some seaweed like from Costco. So this is what it looks like. So you've got all of the mahi mahi in there. There's like 4 fillets there with some coconut milk, some little curry paste and stuff like that. And that's how it is on my plate. So a cup of rice with the mahi mahi, and then I'm going to use the seaweed and kind of just make some little cooked sushi, and that will fill me up for that night. So every time my husband makes this, it is amazing. It's one of my favorite dishes that he does cook for us. The next morning, so day 3, I got these from Costco, these protein bars. I've had them before. This whole box only cost me about $10 for 18 of these, and I thought that was pretty good. Honestly, it is very high in protein and high in sugar, so I'm trying to limit myself and not have this every day. So I believe they're like 270, 280 calories, and or 290, and then it's almost like 17 grams of added sugar, which is pretty high. But that morning we ran out of cottage cheese, and so I really wanted to just eat something on the go, and so this is what I did have that day. So like I mentioned, I'm gonna try and limit myself, but I did have that for breakfast. For lunch, I had another one of the mahi mahi, but I ran out of salad, so I just had some peas and carrots that were in the freezer. So you're gonna see that quite often this week as well. So as I do clean out my freezer, you're gonna see a few random things here and there, but yeah, everything is still amazing. Then I decided to have a ham, cheese, and egg kind of sandwich or toasted sandwich. I still have some ham in the fridge that I need to finish off, so that's the best way for me to eat that. And that was like my snack. And then for dinner, I had more of those chicken patties, peas, carrots, and then I did find some mushrooms in the fridge. So I thought, you know what, let me just cook them all up, and that's going to be my dinner for tonight. So very good there. It did fill me up, and I did top it off with this sauce. I still have a bit of this sauce left. Once I finish this off, I'm not going to buy it again, but for now I do need to finish what I have in my fridge and freezer. Okay, next day, day 4, I had another one of these protein bars for breakfast. So I mentioned it is pretty high in calories and sugar, but it does fill you up at least for a few hours. So if I have this early in the morning around 8 o'clock, it does take a while until about 11 before I get really hungry. So I did have that one again. And so I'm just going through the chocolate peanut butter. Okay, so now I'm going to start making these breakfasts that I wanted to have over the next couple of days. So it's a spinach cup. And so it's got eggs, it's got cottage cheese, spinach, bell peppers, and cheese. So I decided to make these. And so this ingredients here, 6 eggs, cottage cheese to finish off the cottage cheese. This will make 12 cups. And then those 12 cups would be, like you saw on there, 90 calories for 1 cup. So I can have 2 of these every breakfast, and it's about 180 calories. And I could probably have it with kind of like a sausage or bacon, something like that. So I decided to make these, and that will be my breakfast over the next couple of days. And honestly, I did have it over, I think, like 3 days, but then my son did eat some of them as well, which I'm fine with. Like, as I make stuff, even I can meal prep and make quite a large batch of food, and if my family eats it as well, I'm more than happy, because it's something healthy that they can continue to eat. And also from my perspective, I'm not eating the same thing every day for a whole week, so I try to change it up as much as possible. And so by me making these, the family can eat it as well. As I was making it, I realized that I should have chopped up the spinach because they are quite large in here, but it still worked out in the end. So I just mixed all the ingredients up, the cottage cheese, the eggs, the spinach, the cheese, and then I am cutting up a bit of the bell peppers. And so after all this, the oven is preheating in the background. After I cut up all of these, I will spray the little tray, and then I'll place each of them in there, and this is more than enough for those 12. Honestly, when I did take it out of the oven, they were kind of overflowing, but as you let them cool down, they kind of like sink. So they're like little quiches made with spinach, cottage cheese, so high in protein, cheese, eggs, and the bell peppers. So I left a little bit of the bell peppers to the side because it does say in the instructions to like top up the little quiches with the bell peppers and some extra cheese on top when you do put them in the oven. So I'm just gonna quickly put these in all of these little cups. I'll place it in the oven and I will show you afterwards what it looks like. And that was basically going to be my breakfast over the next couple of days. If you know of any other good breakfast recipes that are quick and easy, do put them down in the comments, because I am trying to venture out and see what else I can potentially make. I am limited on time, so most of the food that you do see me kind of eat are like stuff in the fridge and freezer, stuff that you just kind of like preheating or heating up and prepping, not necessarily cooking. My husband's the cook in the family, I'm not. And so like something like this, it didn't take me that long to kind of just mix it up, put in the oven, and I've got breakfast for at least 6 days. And I feel like that is just enough time for me. So I did quickly clean everything up, I put it in the oven, and I will show you what it looks like afterwards. It took about, I think I was in the oven for about 20 minutes, and they look pretty good. I could have left them in there for a little bit longer to brown, but I'm meal prepping, so I'm going to be heating these up again later on. And so I just wanted to at least make sure that they are cooked. So they look pretty good. And like I said, you can see them kind of overflowing, but literally afterwards, they kind of sunk a little bit. And so this was going to be the sausage that I'm going to have with those quiches every morning. It is pretty high in fat, but it's 230 calories and there's still a good amount of protein. So that is going to be my breakfast for today, and honestly it's my breakfast for the next 2 more days after that. So it did fill me up, but those little links, I can really taste the fat in it. It's very high in fat, and it's something that I particularly want to continue to buy. I did have another mahi mahi again, so this is leftovers that were in the fridge. I just had it over some peas and carrots instead of salad. We didn't get time to go to the store and pick up some more salad, so like I said, you're going to see these peas and carrots quite often. And I did eventually go to the store later on in the week, so I do have different vegetables for the following week. Okay, I did have another one of my little jello, and then for dinner I basically had breakfast. So I had this pastrami that we did get from Costco, and so I decided to just make a really quick pastrami kind of omelet. So I just put it in on the skillet with some egg and cheese, and so that was basically my dinner, but a breakfast dinner. So that was my dinner for that night, and it was amazing. I forgot how good pastrami really tastes. So for the next morning, I had another one of the protein bars. So I had this early in the morning, just after I did work out and drop off the kids at school. So like again, pretty high in calories and sugar, but still it did fill me up. So that was basically my breakfast. After that, when I did come back home to start my day, like my work day, I did have my quiches and sausages. So this is technically breakfast, but that was more my lunch. So I had that probably around 11:30. And then after that, I decided to do a bit more cooking. So I was kind of going through a phase where I decided to meal prep some breakfast, and I thought, let me start meal prepping some lunch or dinner. So I had this leftover pasta sauce from last week. I have the sausages that I defrosted from the freezer. I still have some spinach, and I have some pasta. So I thought, you know what, let me make a simple pasta with some spinach and the sausages. So I cut up the sausages, cooked them, and then put this all together, and this is what it looked like. And it was actually amazing. So I was able to make this bowl and then 3 more. And so I did eat that over the next couple of days, and very happy with the way it turned out. So that was basically my dinner. The next day I had some more of the quiches, and so I only had 2 sausages here because the packet only comes with 8. And then to fill me up, I found one of these protein shakes in the fridge. So this one seems pretty good. So 190 calories, 18 grams of protein, only 6 grams of sugar. It actually tasted pretty good. So chocolate and banana, some of my favorite food. And so that was my breakfast. For lunch, I had another one of my cheese, ham, and egg sandwiches. Ran out of regular cheese, but I did have this vegan cheese. So I'm going to try and have this throughout the week. It's only 60 calories. and so it doesn't have any real protein or sugar. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to be using up this stuff that's in my fridge. And so I still have a leftover of this ham, and it is pretty high in calories, but it's high in protein, and I still have the leftover bread. So I'm just trying to use up what is in my fridge, and that was basically my lunch that day. So you will see this consistently over the next couple of weeks. As long as I have the food in the fridge, I'm going to try and use it up. I did have another one of my Jello. So these ones here, like, it does seem like it's a little watery, but it's actually pretty good. I'm not sure why there's excess water in there, but I did finish this one off. And then for dinner, I decided to have one of my pasta bowls again. So I just made it the day before, but amazing. I really do like the sausages and the spinach in this one. So I did have this one for dinner. And then basically for my dessert, I decided to have one of my Oiko yogurt. So 120 calories, 11 grams of protein, but it is pretty high in sugar, but it is amazing. So I did have one of those. Okay, the next morning I decided to have another one of my protein bars. It is high in protein and sugar, but happy to eat it because it is going to fill me up. This day we're actually going to head to Disneyland. So I did have this for breakfast, and then basically for lunch I decided to have another one of my little pasta bowls with sausages and spinach. And this day we actually headed to Disneyland. So I'm going to show you what I did pack for what I could eat, and I did actually eat all this food. So I did have one banana, and I did have some tuna with these rice crackers, and I did cheat a little bit and have some popcorn. But that's basically everything that I ate in week 4. So a lot more carbs, honestly, with the pastas. So we'll see how I go the following week. And so this is what my body is looking like at the end of week 4. So I am seeing a bit of change in my stomach. It is getting a little bit flat, and I'm honestly starting to see a lot of my collarbones now, which I'm very happy about. My arms aren't changing, so I do need to look at potentially working out a little bit more, so more weight training than cardio. But yeah, with the scales I was a little bit disappointed. So at first I was 147.6, now I'm 148.2. So I did go up a little bit. It could have been water weight, I don't know, but we'll see what happens in week 5. So I hope you're enjoying these videos. Thank you for watching, and yeah, look forward to next week.